So do breastfed babies need to be burped? Now the short answer is no. They do not need to be burped after every nursing session. However, if you are bottle feeding, it is good practice to burp your baby periodically throughout the feeding and at the end of a feeding. And that's whether it is formula inside the bottle or breast milk inside the bottle. Just because the nature of drinking out of a bottle increases the chances that your baby will be taking in a little bit more air. So one of the best ways to get that extra air out of baby's tummy is to burp them. Now, if you are exclusively breastfeeding like I am, so that's straight from the breast, you don't actually need to burp your baby, but this really does depend on your baby. Some babies enjoy being burped after a feeding or in between feedings, and some babies really don't need it. So a lot of my children, it didn't really matter if they were burped during the feeding, after the feeding. If they burped, they just happen to burp. But my baby that I have now, baby Asa, he does enjoy being burped after feeding. So if you notice that your baby is just like fussy after a feeding, or if you notice that your baby is bringing their knees up to the chest a lot, either during the feeding or right after a feeding, it may mean that your baby is struggling with that extra bit of gas. So definitely go ahead and burp that baby. I do burp my baby. I do burp my son after he's finished eating, and I also burp, so if I'm feeding on one breast and then I go to the other breast, I will burp him before putting him on the other breast. And it's just a good way to get that extra gas out of their tummy, because sometimes they do need just a little bit more help with that. So no, you do not have to burp your baby if your baby is being exclusively breastfed. But again, like I said, it really does depend on the child whether they really need that extra help getting the gas out, or maybe they don't even have any extra gas and you're free to go. But if you're bottle feeding, you definitely want to make sure that you're burping your baby after feeding. And it is a myth that a baby will get hiccups if you don't burp them or you don't burp them correctly. A lot of babies still have an underdeveloped digestive system, so that is the reason for hiccups. It's not because you burped or didn't burp them. A lot of times my son will get hiccups whether he's been burped or not. So that really doesn't matter. Just pay attention to your baby, and if you feel as though they need help being burped, then definitely burp your baby. I have a whole breastfeeding playlist that I will link above if you would like some more breastfeeding information. Again, I am a doula and I have exclusively breastfed all of my children, so breastfeeding is one of my big passions. So if you have any questions, definitely leave that down in the comment box below. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.